And just to clarify, since I was given 2 D&T felony charges, which both carry a maximum of 40 years, and I already have 15 years backup time, which I really shouldn't even have that either because I was innocent, and I'm still innocent. Yeah, I did the things, but I'm still innocent. That's the difference. It's not about whether I did it or not. It's about whether I should have done it or not. And the answer is yes. I'm innocent because I don't feel guilt about it. I do feel pretty bad about what people keep doing to me and the way that they react to things, but I feel their guilt. I feel guilt for them. I don't feel guilt about my actions. I have felt guilt about certain things in my life, but it's ironic how usually those things don't end up being the things that people try to prosecute me about. Anyway, so to reiterate, the dimethyltryptamine is a necessary nutrient which comes from plants. And just like vitamins, all I was doing was extracting that nutrient, and my body seems to respond to it best when I turn it into a smoke and inhale it. That seems to work better for obtaining that nutrient than consuming it through my stomach. Number one. So when the police took that from me and said that that was illegal, they basically said that I am not allowed to have nutrients which make my body function properly and treat the disease that I have. Number two, in between, just mentioning once again that they then took it from me. They said having it was illegal and that the intent behind it was illegal, even though they misconstrued my intent. They said I had an intent to manufacture, which means at a high scale, and distribute, which they should only be involved in if it is enough to change the balance of the economy. And that's not what I was doing. I was doing this for myself at home, just for me. And the amount that I had was barely enough to get by on, considering the severity of my disease, which is basically just malnutrition of a certain nutrient that plants contain. And then secondly, I had just finished developing a completely legitimate studio laptop with quite a bit of paid software on it that took approximately 10 years of extremely intensive research to develop the exact proprietary suite of software that I was using. As soon as I did that with the most expensive laptop that I had, which I don't make money, so I worked extremely hard for that. I didn't steal it, my parents bought it for me. But they only buy things for me if I do an insane amount of research first, which I did. As soon as I finished it, mind you, I've used cracked programs. I've not used crack cocaine. Cracked software, which just means pre-authorized, by the way. Pre-authorized by the federal government. Pre-authorized software by the federal government free of charge because I was working for the federal government under a compartmentalized top secret clearance due to being part of the inner circle from being a patriarchal descendant of 2 World War veterans. The first World War veteran was a Signal Corps engineer. He was a captain in the Army. And the second one was a communications officer for the Air Corps. So if you want to say, oh, he just wanted to get high, bitch, it's in my blood. My grandfather flew over the K2 mountain range from India to China. If you want to say that's not getting high, then you're done for. He also programmed for the moon landing for NASA. So if you want to say he didn't help other people get high, then you're a dingus. Getting high just means performing at a high functional value. Many people misconstrue what that term means and misuse it in a harmful manner. But the police took my laptop too, my studio laptop, that I finally paid for all of the plugins, even though I technically paid for them with my research and I could have just kept the pre-authorized versions. because I've never been interfered with for using them. As soon as I actually bought them from the commercial, like finished buying all of them from the commercial stores, online commercial stores, supporting the developers monetarily as well as just with research, guess what happened? The police came and they took that too. You know what the whole point of making music is? This is going to blow your mind. Fine-tuning the hydration system of the body to align the water molecules and the system to increase the respiratory and circulatory benefits of the harmonic resonance of the human system. Of course, it has other things that it does as well, but it's like being hydrated does a lot of other things as well. So essentially, what the police did is they stole my food, which also could be considered medicine, and my water. Not my actual water source, but the effectiveness of my water source. And then they said that through criminal charges that essentially I was planning on hurting people, harming society, and causing undue destruction to society by attempting to extract my own dimethyltryptamine. And they said it was because I had an intention to do it on a mass scale and to do so in a way that was harmful and to distribute it in a way that was harmful. That's insane. It's so wrong. It's basically just saying, oh, well, I don't like him, and because I don't like him so much and I've gotten myself so deep into this bucket of lies that I defend with combat only and not reason, well then therefore, if he succeeds, I'm going to get exposed, and so I have to shut him down or else he's going to get me exposed and I'm going to suffer the consequences that frankly I should fucking suffer for being a fucking fraud. But no, let me just call him a fraud instead. And not just a fraud, I'm going to say he's the most dangerous person of all time because look at these charges. And then look at the ones that are listed before them. Even those are all fraudulent. Assaulting a police officer? You mean you guys assaulting me while I'm in handcuffs? And having a psychotic break because of my disease? And so you decide to harass me and bully me? And then you scraped your arms because you fell while you were holding me? Meanwhile, you have 10 other officers there? And you charge me with 2 felony assaults, but you only convict of misdemeanor. After you send me to buttfuck nowhere in an asylum where there's no escape. The only reason you let me out is because I figured out there was no escape. So that's not a real charge either. Anyway, you see where I'm going with this. And now I'm going to show you that even though my intensity of emotion is justified, I'm now going to bring it back down. Because I practice meditation, and I have discipline, and I am exuding reason. And I would like to cooperate with people, but I'd also like to let them know how serious this situation is. I hope you appreciate both my contribution to science and art, as well as the law enforcement industry, because there's a lot to talk about as to how I have contributed to the current law enforcement system, the parts that work, that is, and that I would like to continue to do so because it actually benefits everyone as long as they treat me and others with respect. That's what it comes down to. I'm just trying to make sure that not only myself, but everyone around me, everyone possible around me, is having a good, safe time. And I'm not trying to judge you. I want you to be free to be yourself. I just want you to be able to do so, should you choose, in a highly functional manner with a high degree of safety. If you can take a moment to suspend your disbelief and actually consider that I'm serious and that I am being honest and genuine, then I think we might be able to get along, as long as you can maintain that perspective.